Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Miss Neny, and in this occasion, I'm going to discuss about lesson planning. So everyone, after knowing about curriculum design, now it's time for me to tell you about lesson planning. Having lesson planning for teachers is very important because lesson plan can make teacher confident. Planning lessons ahead of time means teacher enters the classroom each day fully prepared to teach new concepts and lead meaningful discussion. Without a lesson plan, students can quickly lose focus and teachers may be left scrambling, thinking of what to do next. Here I'm going to show you the essential elements of a lesson plan. The first one is goal, and then the second one is objectives. Next, we have materials and equipment. And number 4, we have procedures. And then next, we have assessment, and the last one is extra classwork. Now everyone, let's discuss one by one the essential elements of a lesson plan. The first one is goal. The first step in writing a strong lesson plan is to define the goals. And what is goal? So it is the target you are trying to reach. And then the second element of lesson plan, we have objectives. The objectives of lesson plan state what you want students to gain from the lesson or what knowledge you want them to have acquired when the lesson is finished. There are two kinds of objectives. The first one is terminal objectives, and then the second one is enabling objectives. Now everyone, let's discuss about what the difference between terminal objectives and enabling objectives. The first one, terminal objectives, are what students should be able to do when the course is done. And then while enabling objectives are what students need to be able to do during the course to achieve the terminal objectives. Here I'm going to show you the examples of terminal objectives. Students will be able to give instructions and commands using imperatives. Students will be able to use imperatives in a socially appropriate manner. And then the examples of enabling objectives are students will be able to practice imperatives through an information gap activity. And then students will be able to categorize giving imperatives commands in terms of appropriateness. Now everyone, maybe you ask me what's the difference between goals and objectives. So I'm going to explain the difference between goals and objectives. So learning goals refer to higher order ambitions you have for your student, while objectives are the specific measurable competencies which you would assess in order to decide whether your goals had been met. And then the next one, we have materials and equipments. This is also the elements of lesson planning, everyone. Materials and equipment enable the students to proceed towards concrete learning. Here are examples of materials and equipment for talking. First, textbook. And then the second one, we have audio, and then visual. The examples of visual, we have charts, and then real objects, and then photographs. Next, we have also audio visual. They are slides, films, or can be videos. Number 4, we have procedures. Procedures are essentially step-by-step instructions that walk you through everything from the time students enter the classroom until the bell rings at the end of the period. And then number 5, we have assessment. Assessment is the test for understanding, As a teacher, you will need to include assessment in your lesson plan, not only at the end, but also during the lesson. So during the lesson process, teacher may ask questions to students to check their understanding. By testing your students, you will know if they are making the right connection as you are teaching. And then the sixth element of lesson planning is extra classwork. In other words, we call extra classwork as homework. Extra classwork or homework is defined as an approved school activity which extends beyond the normal school day. An extra class work needs to be planned carefully and communicated clearly to the students. Here I'm going to show you guidelines for lesson planning. The first one, how to begin planning. Here are guidelines for beginning the process of lesson planning, everyone. The first one, assuming that you are already familiar with the curriculum your students are following and the overall plan and also the textbook. Based on what you perceive as the goals of the curriculum and this course and the overall language needs being met, determine the topic and purpose of your lesson. With the goal in mind, draft out one or two explicitly started terminal objective for the lesson. Of the exercises that are in the course book, decide which ones you will do. Change, delete, and add to, all based on the objectives you have to draft. Okay, I think that's all my presentation, everyone. Thank you very much. Is there any question?
All right. You mentioned that in your
I'm so sorry, can you please speak loudly?
Okay, I want to ask about materials and equipment. So you said that in class we should have textbooks, audiovisual and audiovisual. Should we put them all in one lesson plan, or what will you do?
Sorry, do you mean that is it okay to bring all the, is it okay to use the audio and the textbook in the class like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Should we put all of it, textbook, audio, and visual?
Yep. Okay, thank you for the question.
Yes.
So in teaching, it's better for us to use multiple equipment or materials like textbook. So if we have used textbook, there is no wrong if we still use audio or videos. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Miss Neny.
Hello, Miss.
Okay, so I have a problem. Sometimes I got this problem in my classroom. Sometimes my students learn many things so fast. So yeah, my students achieve the target earlier. So yeah, they are so fast at that time. So I ran off the activities. So can I add more activities that can enlarge the learning goals?
Yeah,
Thank
you very much for the question. Yes, Miss May. So this is what we call as plan A and plan B. So as teacher, when we make a lesson plan, we have to have plan A and plan B. So if we still have enough time to do another activity, we can do the next plan. Okay, is that answering your question?
My question is, when do we should improvise from our lesson plan?
Sorry, when?
When should we improvise from our lesson plan?
Okay, we should improvise our lesson plan when first we use it, and then we think that after finish the lesson, we think that there's something need to be improved. Then in another day, we use the same lesson plan to teach maybe another class. We can make some improvement for the lesson plan.
Miss Neny, dealing with the homework, if, for example, we have prepared some homework and then in the class we see that some students are doing the tests in their schools, for example, do you think that we should stick to the lesson plan, giving them homework, or do you think we should consider the students' burden, for example? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Miss. Okay, so I think when teachers meet students doing the homework at class, right? Okay, there must be some reasons. Maybe the students at home, they don't have enough time to do the homework, or maybe their parents are busy, so that the parents cannot help them to do the homework. So I think it's a good idea for teachers to just keep the classwork in the class. So every task or every works must be finished in the class, so that when they go home they don't have any homework anymore. And if they have a homework, or if teachers give homework to the students, maybe they can just give them, like ask them to memorize something, maybe vocabularies, or maybe a story like that. So not like a written homework. Thank you.
Teachers with a lot of classes to teach, long hours of classwork, may have some resistance about writing a lesson plan. They may think that they already have the textbook materials, then why bother writing a lesson plan? How would you respond to that resistance?
Okay, that's why we have to manage our time wisely. Yeah. So even though we have many teaching hours, so if we manage our time wisely, I think all teachers will be able to make the lesson plan every time before they want to teach. Like, thank you. Okay, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.